Hey out there, Big Red Barrel community. Welcome to the next Big Red Ramble. We're going to do Mass Effect 2 as a little retrospective for you here. You know, we got Mass Effect 3 on the horizon, but I'm not alone in this. I'm here joined by three compatriots. We've got first off, we've got Corey coming at us.
Hello, seriously, compatriots? Like,
Yeah,
are you trying to one-up us in your vocabulary? Like,
I'm trying to do your loyalty quests, so I'm trying to get on your good side.
oh, that high vocabulary is not on my good side. You just lost loyalty points there.
Oh no. And also we've got Alex joining us.
Space adventures. Adventures in space.
There he is. And there's Morden. He's joining us too. Morden's in there, and there's Garrus. And also coming out of my backyard with his slow internet connection, we've got three-pronged Mike coming in.
I gotta say how much I appreciate you introducing the video game characters before me.
Well, naturally, they're more important.
Yeah,
I got a feeling they're going to have more to say than you are.
I was meaning that with very genuine, intentions.
Well, I just like Morden a lot. What can I say? Who doesn't like Morden? He's awesome, and he's hilarious. I think the funniest moment in the game comes from Morden. And just to let you guys know, there will probably be some pretty massive spoilers of Mass Effect 2. I think the statute of limitations has been lifted. But my favorite moment of Mass Effect 2 was Morden singing. Do you guys remember that part?
The scientist hilarious. Hilarious. Oh, that was epic.
I don't think I saw that. Was that on his loyalty mission?
It was after his loyalty mission.
Oh, yeah, I never did that.
And my
Consequently, he died.
My second favorite thing of Morden is when you romance a character, he'll just randomly give you sex advice for varying on who you romanced. So, like, if you romanced Jack, he said he would give you he said he'd give you tips on how to use biotics to increase your romance. So, like, I'm guessing she's gonna force choke you, and
you're mixing games up now.
Hey, biotics biotics is pretty much the force.
Yeah, you're right.
Was that who you went for, Corey? You went for Jack?
Yeah, I think I did. Yes.
Yeah, that's a alternative lifestyle right there. I think we all three went for different people.
Yeah, I went for Miranda.
Yeah, good for you.
You like
Thanks.
the tits and ass?
No, I just thought she was so much of a bitch that I needed to have sex with her to get it out of her.
And I went for Tally. I went for Miranda my first playthrough a couple of years ago, like when this first came out too. But on my latest playthrough, I went for Tally. I wanted to see how that would work, and I was pretty satisfied with that. It's pretty fun.
Seems like that would be like having sex with a machine.
You never get
She takes her mask off, dude.
She
but
does?
you don't get to see it.
Yep.
Like,
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm angling for that in the third game. Is what I'm setting this thing up for. I really want to see what's under that mask.
That you do.
No, it's going to be a predator. Have you seen like their faces? It's going to be that.
That would be so awesome.
You'll be like, oh my god, put the mask back on.
So what we're watching right now is this Garrus's loyalty mission?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like Garrus' loyalty mission. He's going after a guy that betrayed him and his squad, and he's going to kind of get what's coming to him. These loyalty missions were always excellent, I thought. And I thought one of the best parts of the game itself was the loyalty mission. Now, I didn't play this on PC. I put it on Xbox 360. What I'm noticing is these hacking games have an extra hit there. They had 4 matching sets on the Xbox and probably on the PlayStation one too.
Yep.
But there was a symbol I didn't recognize there that looks like on the PC, just because you're using mouse and keyboard, it gives you one extra thing to do in that time.
I was just assuming
smart.
that it was because it was on a harder difficulty.
Yeah, that could be
I play
too.
everything on easy.
That could be too. Yeah, So when you played through it, Mike, you how many people died for you?
Most of them.
Yeah.
I think like 3 people survived, actually.
That's going to be a great save for you to import into Mass Effect 3, by the way.
Mike, were you just really reckless?
I don't know. I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest.
Were you playing drunk?
I think, well, obviously. Why wouldn't I be? Are you, what? Really? I'm actually replaying it again, but I'm making a point to be a much bigger asshole this time. because I didn't really do that last time. But I think really what I did, I think what my problem was is that I made like the highest priority the mission at hand, so I kind of just figured everybody was expendable.
I see. Yeah, well, that's a choice. I mean, that's kind of a works in the narrative too. It works as the mission and knowing that you're going on a suicide mission. On my first playthrough, I only lost 2 people, but on this one, I made it a point to try and lose nobody, and that worked out pretty good. It's just all about doing those loyalty missions, and you know what? The loyalty missions are really, really fun. I thought Morden's was the best. Which was, Corey, you can jump in on this one because obviously Mike has absolutely no experience with loyalty missions. But I thought Mord's was the best, where you go to the Krogan homeworld and deal with the genophage they created.
Yeah. What did you choose for? Did you let the Krogans repopulate again, or did you keep the genophage up? Like,
I killed his research. I destroyed his research.
Oh, so you thought the Krogans were more important than what the Solarians did?
Well, I destroyed the guy's research that was going to save going to stop the genophage.
Oh, so you kept the genophage up?
Yeah, I kept the genophage and just.
Wow, that was a dick move. They just want to have babies, and you just killed their hopes. Like.
Yeah, but they have like 1,000 each time they have them, and they're just going to overrun the galaxy. I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah, well,
that is so racist.
Hey, man, you know what? If let's say wolves, for example, let's say wolves had 1,000 babies every time they repopulated. Each time they had cubs, it was 1,000 of them. They all survived.
You know what?
This planet would be completely overrun by wolves in a matter of about 10 years.
We would be overrun by cute baby wolf cubs. Good job, you're killing them all, you jerk.
And by that logic,
you're apologize for that.
By that logic, you're making it seem that like Krogans don't have souls.
Yeah. Well, they don't. Have you ever talked to one? Have you ever seen one?
I'm not one to judge. All right, I'm not one to play the hand of God, unless I am given the opportunity. So if I was in your position,
you have the opportunity to kill your entire crew,
I might have done the same thing.
In which case,
yeah, but that's a single person as opposed to an entire race. Like,
well, no, it was like 7 people.
Yeah, but
these people don't exist.
Yeah.
These aren't people yet. They're just fictional, hypothetical Krogans.
That's a slippery slope right there, my friend.
Yeah, that's.
So you're going to let the Krogans overrun the galaxy, Corey? That's your plan?
Well, if the Reapers are going to wipe us out anyways, so I'd rather fight the Krogans than fight the Reapers. So
that's a little fatalist.
If more Krogans means we have a chance against the Reapers, then I'll let them breed, and I'll let them fight, because that's what they're good at. They're good at fighting. So
and you'll go hide in a bunker somewhere, Corey, right?
Yeah, hey Krogan, just clean up my mess. Like, just tell me when you're done, and then we'll kill you off again.
You'll be like that little kid in the demo.
And then when Mike is on his way to the bunker, he'll shut the door on his teammates because he's a jerk.
Hey, you know what? If that was the difference between either A, getting the mission done or not, or B, saving my own ass, you better believe it.
Okay, but you said getting the mission done. You didn't have to babysit your teammates, did you?
Well, I don't know. It was like the choices that came up were like to, when you save the crew and you ask if you should send somebody with them. Fuck no, I'm not sending somebody with them and taking off somebody from my team when I'm here killing the collectors. What, really? I'm going to give somebody up to help these little bitches back to the ship?
Well, see, the way that's supposed to play out, Mike, is you're supposed to have enough people at that point to take somebody with them and not affect your team, your immediate team, in any way. But the problem that you had was that everybody was already dead and you only had 3 people left. So
no.
Sending one person back to the ship with them would have taken somebody out of your team.
I think 2 people actually died on the approach.
And then leading up to that part?
Did you do anything but play the main quests? Like,
could you not judge me, please?
Too late. You have already been judged.
Well, hey, at least you played the game, Alex. Like, you haven't even played it, so
yes, I guess we should get that out of the way. I have not played any Mass Effect game to date.
Are you seriously? Yes. Are you seriously giving me hell?
I believe
never
I
even
am.
Played it?
I can go.
Well, okay.
I can go.
I don't know if we can go that pot calling the kettle black, but I think Corey and I have ever. Mike, you missed a great game.
Hey,
by
you know
the
what?
way.
I'm replaying it.
Okay, good. Are you going
Good.
Renegade or Paragon this time?
I'm going Renegade, big time.
Nice.
I'm going as Renegade as I possibly can.
You know that annoying reporter that you meet in the game?
Oh yeah, no, I punched her in the face the first time, even though I was going
that was so
Paragon.
satisfying. Like,
Yes, it was.
just a sucker punch to knock her out. I was like, yes, vengeance is mine.
I was
It is
totally
great.
I was totally going like on the Paragon side of that first playthrough too, but when she came up and started talking all that shit,
Yeah.
punched her right in the face.
And you didn't even meet her in the first game. You don't even have a history with her.
Nope, don't care.
You know, it is really effective how they just sort of tempt you with that right trigger. Like, every time that comes up, it's like, ooh, I really want to do something nasty to this person.
Yeah, like I had Butta Krogan. That was great because it was a hilarious thing because I was playing FemShep, so seeing just a human chick just headbutt that big ass Krogan into submission is like, bitch, please, I run this joint.
That's sweet, man. Yeah, no, and I hope that keeps going. I'm sure it was really effective. You know, the left trigger Paragon stuff was good, I guess. It certainly gave you points and progressed the conversation.
Well, yeah.
But God, that right trigger was so tempting. I was playing it through as a Paragon too, and it was so hard almost every time not to just slam it and just see what happens.
Yeah, they try to make Paragon more interesting this time around because, like, in the first game, you were pretty much the console's lapdog if you're a Paragon. Like, you're just
Right.
like, yes, I'll go do that. Yes, I'll help you out. And then if you're a Renegade in the first game, you're like, I'm a Spectre. You listen to me. I don't listen to
Yeah.
you. So,
Yeah,
like,
it was kind of paper thin.
and so they changed up Paragon to being more badass, but still making better choices in the Renegade. So
It's tough though. I mean, it's tough to make being a good guy more badass than being a bad guy.
Well, but that's subjective though. I mean, what's a
I
good
don't know
guy
that
and
it
what's a
is.
bad guy? You can be a bad guy and still save, humanity.
He could always be the anti-hero.
I'm
Exactly.
sorry. It's tough to make the Paragon choices more exciting than the Renegade choices. I shouldn't say good guy, bad guy. But, what's cooler than when a guy won't give you information, you kick his ass right out a window.
Or when some Krogans are talking smack to you, you just start shooting at them, blowing up a canister and like lighting half of them on fire.
Yeah.
Like
Who doesn't want to do that?
Paragon
Wow.
people. Like they just sit back and take the shit until they get a chance to actually fight. Renegade, you're Han Solo. You shoot first as a Renegade.
Yeah.
Han Solo didn't shoot first.
You
actually.
shut your mouth.
I was hoping that would happen.
So I mean, I thought what I thought was cool when I think about BioWare games are the coolest parts are when your companions actually sort of do the same thing that you would do in this situation. Like, for example, in Dragon Age, when Alistair would sort of repeat your own sentiments, or in this game at the end where Miranda just kind of turns and gives the elusive man the finger for you at the end. I think that outside of making my own choices, just seeing my own choices being made through my companions is really cool. It's sort of a BioWare staple, and I want to see what they do with it in Mass Effect 3, too.
Well, I'm sure they'll up the scale because you're the one that has to bring together all the races. And if you play the DLC, the Arrival DLC, you'll know that you're pretty much hated at that point across
Right.
the entire galaxy. And it's going to be hard to tell people to sacrifice more for your cause when you were the one that just didn't care about sacrificing others, and you seemed like really cold-hearted throughout the first
Yeah.
two games. So it's going to be hard to convince other races to help you.
Yeah, and that's what the whole thing's about.
Yeah,
right?
I mean that's gonna be part of the fun because if everyone liked you, then it would be easy and it wouldn't be fun at all. So
Yeah. So did you guys play the demo for Mass Effect 3 yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we saw in the Mass Effect 3 demo was a couple of single-player scenarios where one was where you were escaping Earth, and one was later on when you were trying to get a Krogan female out of just trying to get her to escape. What I thought was interesting was that you have in the second scenario both Rex from Mass Effect 1 and Morden playing a vital role in that scenario. Mike, you never played Mass Effect 1, and it'll probably default you to Rex being dead because it was a very tough thing to do to keep Rex alive in Mass Effect 1.
No, actually, in the comic at the beginning of the PS3 version, you get that choice whether or not to save him or kill him, and I believe that I saved him.
I see. I killed him in the first game, so I think I lost my saves from my first game, so I just sort of, when I played Mass Effect 2 again for the first time just recently, I just made all the same choices that I had done in Mass Effect 1, so it was like I kept that save. So I had him dead, so I want to see how that plays out. But Mike, you have Morden dead in that game too.
Yeah, Morden died.
So that.
Let me ask you guys a question about the comic. Is there? I hear there's going to be another one at the beginning of Mass Effect 3.
Yes,
is that
for
true?
People,
probably.
Yeah, it's for people who haven't played the first two, and it's going to be for both consoles. So if you don't want to sit through the first two games and play them, then you can just pick the major choices for the comic and then have a new character for Mass Effect 3, which I think is great because
it's
now
really smart.
I don't have 40 hours to drop on the first two games right now. Like it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a really smart move by BioWare, and it's nice to see it continue because you figure they did it the first time for people with the PS3 because they couldn't play through the Mass Effect. There's a solution to the save option, the carry over for PS3 people. But now it's nice to see that they're carrying it over for both consoles.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, because
I really liked it
because both systems are having it released at the same time. Because the PS3 version for Mass Effect 2 was released
like a year later or something.
Yeah, so they didn't have the chance to put that into the 360 version because they didn't think of it at the time. Because you have the first game, so you can just play that if you need to do the choices. And then when they got to the PS3, it's like, oh wait, we can't give them the first game, so how are we going to let them choose what they want?
Yeah, and it's important. I think it gives you a sense of being a little bit in control even before the game really starts. My only problem with it is that it's about a half hour long, and if they're doing that for the first two games, I mean, are you really gonna have to sit through an hour of comics with the occasional decision before you even start the game?
Well, if they're doing two games, I figure they'll splice it up a little bit, just give you the highlights. I figure they'd focus more on Mass Effect 2 than 3.
Well, they also want to make sure that you're caught up to speed for newcomers, like people who haven't played the first two at all. They need to know the story, so you want it long enough so they're not confused when they enter Mass Effect 3.
You helped a friend of mine disappear.
Yeah, and I wonder if there's going to be a different version of people that played for some reason Mass Effect 1 and not Mass Effect 2. I don't know why you would do that because I always felt like Mass Effect 2 was a vastly superior game, while Mass Effect 1 probably had the superior story, at least the setup of it. But I thought Mass Effect 2 was a better game, and I don't know why after you finish playing Mass Effect 1 you would not play Mass Effect 2 and then actually want to play Mass Effect 3.
Yeah,
but there may be. I mean, maybe there's a halfway motion comic. You know what happened in Mass Effect 1, and then here's what happened in Mass Effect 2. I never saw any of the motion comics because I played it only on the Xbox version, and even after I lost my save, they didn't have a motion comic. After they didn't detect a Mass Effect 1 save, they just asked me the questions and the choices in the first in the scene in the beginning where you're riding with Jacob and Miranda in the shuttle. That's what sets up your story in Mass Effect 2 on the Xbox if you didn't play Mass Effect 1. There isn't a motion comic to
But you don't get to choose every
there.
Major thing. Like, they don't ask you if you killed the Rachni or not, or if you saved Rex or not. Like, they just give you your general background of, like, what was your past, like if you were a space colonist or, like, Earth bound character.
They do ask you if you killed Ashley or Kate, and like the super duper, like maybe three of the major choices from the first game.
They had to do that one because you would see either Ashley or Kate in the second one, so they needed to pick which one to show you. And the Rex one, like they just put a random Krogan in there, and if you didn't save him, so they didn't. I don't think they asked you in Mass Effect 2 if Rex was alive or not.
Yeah, they didn't. And so they defaulted to him being dead in my game, which was fine because that's what it was. But I think it's a much better execution to have that motion comic in there to where you can make all the choices that you made, or that were made in that first game.
Yeah, coming from somebody who didn't get the opportunity to play the first one, it was really nice to have that there.
Yeah. So this is interesting. It should lead right into Mass Effect 3, coming out on the 6th of March. I'm super excited. You know what's interesting is I played all the DLC except for that Arrival DLC. I don't know. Did you guys have any experience with the DLC?
Yeah, I played every single one, and if the Arrival's on sale, I'd recommend you get it. It's not the best of the Mass Effect 2 DLC. But it's going to tie together the second and third game really well, because the third game picks up... the third game will assume that you played the Rival DLC, because that's how it gets all set up. So you're not going to have a choice of whether or not what happens at the beginning of Mass Effect 3, so you might as well play through the Rival if you can get it cheap.
Yeah, the plan is that I'm going to actually pick it up and probably play through it. I think I'm going to try to sync it up so I play through it the day before Mass Effect 3 comes out, just to get myself a little bit even more pumped up for it.
Does the Arrival DLC, does that take place after you defeated the Reaper and can still, explore the galaxy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it chronologically takes place right before the third game starts. Like, the beginning of the third game is the result of what you did in the Arrival, which I won't spoil because that's still pretty new and I don't want people to get pissed about it.
Sure, yeah, and it's a lead into the next game coming out.
I think I might have bought that DLC, but I haven't done anything with it. I don't remember even buying the game. Apparently I bought it on the PlayStation Store when I was really drunk.
I remember you buying the game. But yeah, we were drunk and recording an episode of The Locals, and then we were so drunk that you were just browsing the PlayStation Store, and I wasn't paying attention. I think I was eating some pizza or something, and you just said, Mass Effect 2, I should play that, and you said, bye.
You know, you're really lucky you picked Mass Effect 2, because that decision could have gone horribly wrong with how much beer you had, probably.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really remember doing any of it, but it was the best drunken decision I've ever made. Much better than the drunken decision I made to get married.
Put that on the back of the box art for Mass Effect 2. Best drunken decision I've ever made.
Yep. So yeah, so we've got Mass Effect 2. Here's the end. This is coming under the end of Garrus's loyalty mission. You're going to make a pretty big choice here.
And he chooses the good guy route. What a lame ass.
Friend of Garrus. He wants you dead, but I'm hoping that's not necessary.
I let Garrus have his revenge because...
Me too.
You don't mess with Garrus.
You're not kidding, are you?
Like, I love Joker's comment, like, looks like the stick that was up Garrus's ass is out now, and he's beating people with it.
Don't move. Get off me! I'm the only thing standing between you and the whole...
Yeah, this is interesting. I never played this one out. I always thought, you know what, I could be a good guy all day long. I'm going to let Garrus do his thing here. So you have to wonder how some of these will play out, and if you haven't played Mass Effect 2 or you're playing through it now, I strongly urge you to play loyalty missions. The loyalty missions have some of the best decisions and best story moments of the entire game. I mean, the Mass Effect 2 is essentially a game about building your crew. There's the part where you're going and taking down the Reapers and stuff too, but it's really, you spend the majority of the time building trust with your crew. And that's where the majority of the interesting story stuff comes from in this game. And I would also strongly urge you to play the Shadow Broker DLC. I played all of them except for the Arrival, like I said, but Shadow Broker stood heads and shoulders above all the other ones.
I think I'm going to have to check those out.
Yeah. So you'll have to check those out, and you can also check out Mass Effect 3 coming out on March 6th. Guys, I'm super excited, and this was fun. Glad we could do this ramble. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Go, tell him to go.
And yeah, that's a good place to end.
Don't waste it.
Cool, so then let's just be finished then.
All right. That's it.
Yeah, that's...
Ramble complete.
Good.
Yay.
Excellent.